Good morning, welcome back to the morning show. I've got another fresh cup of coffee, got a new guest here. This is Scott Springston. He is the Director of Grand County Higher Education, which is an offshoot of the Grand Foundation, is that correct?
That's correct.
And we're going to get right into it here and start talking, what is this, what is Grand County Higher Education? When I hear higher education, I'm thinking a master's degree or a PhD. It's kind of the post-bachelor's when I hear higher education.
And that definitely is a piece of it. You know, right now in Grand County, there's a void for access to whether it be 2-year or 4-year college education tracks, or even for that matter, industry certification, technical kind of career opportunities.
I feel like any education you hear around here is someone online finding a university in Texas or Virginia or somewhere and doing an online program, which thank goodness for technology we can do that, but we're trying to segue more locally.
Yeah, so really, I mean, I guess to put a fine point on what Grand County Higher Education is it's to serve as a site that will connect our residents and our businesses in the county to opportunities for a continuing education. And some of that could be, you know, I mentioned our workforce, but when you think about our residents and the number of retired residents we have, there has been data that I've received that people just want to continue to learn, leisure learning. So it could run the breadth of, you know, we're talking school age, high school students all the way to, you know, 80-year-olds who want to continue to learn.
Just tinker and expand, yeah.
And so we want to provide an opportunity where we could synthesize and be that person, that mediator, so to speak, or moderator, to be able to connect with our residents and businesses what the needs are here.
And so I just wonder how this process works. You know, do they call you and say, I'm really interested in something, you know, and then you guys kind of find a path for them, or is it more, do they watch, I don't know if you have a website for opportunities and say, oh, I'd like to learn a little more about that? Right.
So I've been in the position since February of last year, so not quite 12 months. And we have spent the last 12 months really honing in, and that'd be the board and myself as the director, kind of, you know, what are we and also what are we not?
So we're still kind of in an identification phase.
Correct. Yep. So now, and this is the inaugural kickoff, so, you know, for public communication, we're here, we're in town, here's what we do. And so I'm pleased that you allowed me to do that here on your show.
We're thrilled to have you. It's kind of our educational show. We talked library before, and we're going to have the superintendent on a little later for the local schools. So it's great having you as well.
So going forward, we will have opportunities and for information as far as what we're doing and how to be into contact with us. And there'll be a multitude of ways we'll do that. Obviously, the Grand Foundation will be our main source. If people want to find out more, connect with me, I would refer them to Grand Foundation. And they have a website, and then they would be able, you know, with the phone number listed in their site, and they can connect that person with me.
And I assume anybody with interest in anything, right now the feedback's wonderful because it helps you to identify what's needed and what directions we can take this.
Correct.
And earlier off camera we spoke a little bit about an event you had at Devil's Thumb recently.
Yeah.
Could we talk about that just because it gives us an idea of kind of some of the services that aren't just a PhD in, you know, whatever subject, it's a lot more than that locally.
It is. So we've had 3 projects that have gone on over the last several months, but last week we had the opportunity to go to Devil's Thumb Resort, and we worked with their staff. And months prior to the training last week, we worked with their staff to identify what would be kind of your most urgent need that you see with your employees, and they focused on the kitchen staff. So they said, well, we would like to be able to provide a culinary training, kind of a kitchen 101. So when we hire people, bring them into the kitchen.
Get all those foundational.
Right. Yeah, how to use knives, how to navigate, you know, a busy functional kitchen in a high-scale resort. How do those people transition from whatever job they had into this? And so what we did is we designed the curriculum. When I say we, it was representatives from Devil's Thumb Resort. I also partnered with Colorado Mountain College. Staff out of the Steamboat campus, and we designed a program that met their needs, because at the end of the day, that's the role of Grand County Higher Ed. How do we bring value to our partners here in the county? And so the role that I play is to be able to identify what that is, design that curriculum, and then I go out and find partners like Colorado Mountain College to come in, because
you've got a lot on your plate.
It is. It's a big plate, and it keeps getting bigger. But it's enjoyable work, and it's everybody around here in the few months that I've been on the job I've heard consistent need that there's just no clear identified avenue or place to go to be able to find out how do I, take courses or find some career opportunities?
Get on Google and good luck. That's basically what you're told,
Right.
locally.
Yep, and people do that, but we need to provide opportunities that is one central source that people can go to. Make it easier. We want to reduce barriers for people to continue their education, because at the end of the day, what we also do in Grand County Higher Ed is we're serving as kind of an offshoot of we're supporting economic development and sustainability.
Absolutely.
The more we can educate our workforce, the stronger those businesses are in our county, and being heavily dependent on customer service. I mean, that also raises the footprint here in Grand County. People are going to say, it's a quality place to go. Let's
Oh, absolutely.
Let's head up there for vacation.
So the Devil's Thumb and success, how do we feel about that?
It was a great success. We are in the process of collecting feedback from their staff.
The timing couldn't be better. Going into ski season, we're just early ski season now, and I mean that is the time we're all ramping up for December 15th into Christmas into the year. So
I say it's a great success, and we're still measuring. We'll get more feedback, but I had a chance to sit down with some of the participants, and they were so excited, and what they said without prompting was exactly the goal and the mission was, we're so happy that there's a place where we can go to continue our training because we want to see career advancements. In other words, how do we get the skills necessary so we can find a career potentially here in Grand County?
Yeah, how fantastic. We're going to need to take a quick break.
Okay.
We'll come back and chat a little more about some of the challenges you've had and things we see going forward. It's kind of fun to have it in its infancy stage, more or less, developing the program here that you're doing.
It's a startup.
Right again. Once again, we're hanging out with Scott Springston, with the Director of Grand County Higher Education. I'm nailing it. Here we go. Okay, and we'll be back shortly. Stick around in the program. Later in the show, we're going to be chatting with the superintendent of our East Grand School District here as well. So thanks again, Scott. We'll be back in a moment.
Okay.